Hello and welcome to Solent Sports News. I'm Daniel Weatherstock and I'm joined by Scott Peirce. Scott, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. So obviously motocross, obviously it's quite an unpopular sport. How did you first sort of get into it, and how maybe your parents have influenced you or any influences in the past?
Yeah, so I was introduced to it from a young age. My mum and dad are both big on motorsport. My mum grew up watching it. My dad started watching it when he was introduced to my mum. They took me from a very young age to Grand Prix, to league races. And I got my first bike when I was 4, saved up myself and just started progressing from there.
Nice. So sort of was there like challenges and leagues and competitions as you sort of progressed through your youth career?
Yeah, so I started in BMX, just racing around tracks on that. Then I started getting into motocross, doing sort of Sunday races, little competitions here and there. Then I started getting, as I got older, slowly into more competitive scene, semi-professional kind of level. And then just started progressing more and more. And then with COVID, it sort of set back a little bit, but...
Yeah, so as you said, COVID, obviously, that probably was a big challenge. Obviously, you didn't go to as many meetings and that. Was that sort of a problem with you, and how did you deal with that? Could you practice sort of outside, or did you stop it completely?
Yeah, so it was a difficult one. A lot of tracks have shut during the COVID season, and obviously gyms were shut and everything, so staying in shape and mentally preparing yourself for the races was hard. But you had to watch races, you know, get yourself mentally ready to get back training again. Yeah. You know, use other than gym facilities, so going on runs, etc. And just preparing your bike for when it was ready to go again. Constantly looking at that, keeping it warm, keeping it fresh for the upcoming season to come.
Obviously, you said that was very mentally tough. How did you sort of handle that? Did you watch races back and go, oh, this is very frustrating?
Yeah, so when I race, I have a GoPro on, and I watch back old GoPro footage, just picking up things I could pick up on, you know, improve, and just keep watching it over and over and over. So when I was ready to, and the time came, I could transfer it over and
yeah, really good
improve.
Stuff. Yeah, good. Obviously, before COVID, you had that injury. Can you tell the viewers, obviously, what happened?
Yeah, so my first injury, it was quite a big crash. I broke my back at 11 years old, and that led on to 9 months of physiotherapy afterwards, which was obviously quite long and a traumatic process at only 11 years old. And getting back into sport, I took 6 months out just because I didn't want to do it. Yeah. Then the urge came back, and you start feeling it again, and you want to get in it, and the adrenaline. And just slowly building yourself up, physio, mentally as well, you know, having to push yourself into that and say, no, I can do that. You've got to really prepare yourself to do it.
Of course.
And yeah, just get yourself back into it, that's all really.
What's sort of your performance? How long did it take you to get back up to how you were before, like standards-wise?
So to get back up to how I was, it did take quite a while. Because at first I was just going in circles, you know, around a small field or whatever. And then started smaller tracks, then up to bigger tracks, and slowly building it up and up. And then before I knew it, I'd just forgotten it happened, sort of. Yeah. Just getting back into the racing and competitive scene again.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, you haven't really been at the track recently. You haven't been doing much. So what's next? Are you feeling ready to get back into it? And sort of what preparations are you going to do to sort of get back into it?
Yeah, I'm really excited to get back into it. It's been a while, nearly a year now. So it's all about getting the bike ready, servicing it all the time, making sure I've got the right parts, the newest parts, because with the modern era of motocross, it's always changing. And you know, you've got to keep up to date with the other races, so your bike's ready to go as well. So now it's just focusing on making sure I'm ready, the bike's ready, and all prepared for the upcoming season next year.
Perfect. Thank you, Scott Peirce. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Time for a short break now. I'll be back in a couple of minutes with more news and interviews.